started with the sound of bottles clinking in the dark. Not loud, not frantic. Just the casual jingle of glass on glass. I was working late in my home office, neck stiff, eyes blurry, just trying to push through the last few emails before crashing for the night. Erica, my fiancée, wasn't home. So when I heard that soft clatter from the other side of the house, near the bar, I froze. My heart kicked. I got up, walked slowly down the hall. Every shadow suddenly too sharp, every silence too loud. When I turned the corner and flipped the lights on, there she was. Leah, Erica's best friend since high school, standing behind my bar, one hand already gripping a bottle of wine from my personal collection, the other rifling through the rest, like she was browsing a grocery aisle. "What are you doing?" I asked. She didn't flinch, didn't even look embarrassed. "Erica said I could borrow one," she said. "It's for a party. I'll pay it back." No apology, no hesitation, just a smug, entitled smile. And that was the moment it hit me. I didn't have a Leah problem. I had a fiancé problem. Let me take you back. I'm 29. Erica's 27. We'd been dating for 2 years, and 4 months ago, we got engaged. It was one of those slow-build, steady relationships. Low drama, lots of laughs, shared dreams. When we got engaged, she moved into my house. The plan was simple. I'd keep paying the mortgage. She'd cover utilities and groceries. After the wedding, I'd add her to the deed so she could have equity. It felt like a partnership, like a beginning. But what I didn't understand was that Leah, her best friend since high school, was not just a person in her life. Leah was a presence. From the start, I didn't like her. I didn't trust her. But I tried to be polite, cordial. I knew Erica cared about her, and I didn't want to be that guy who wedges himself between old friends. But Leah treated my house like it was hers, like I was the guest in her domain. She'd show up without warning. She'd bring her boyfriend, some sketchy guy who gave off major bad vibe energy, and they'd lounge in my living room like they owned it. Once, I walked out to the garage and noticed some of my tools were missing. I checked the security camera. There they were. Leah, her boyfriend, and Erica in my garage, taking my tools. When I asked Erica about it, she brushed it off. "They're just borrowing them," she said. "They'll bring them back." I had to follow up 3 separate times before I got my own tools returned, weeks later. And that sour feeling in my gut started to spread. Then came the wine. And then came the golf clubs. I'm a golfer, a serious one. My clubs aren't just equipment. They're an investment. I take care of them like they're an extension of my body. So when I got the itch to hit the driving range and couldn't find my clubs, I panicked. Ran to the garage. Nothing. I checked the cameras again. And there she was, Leah, keying in my garage code, walking right in, grabbing my clubs, without permission, without even a text. I called Erica, furious, demanded she get them back immediately. She said Leah had only asked for the garage code to grab clothes from her closet, not the clubs. She sounded exasperated, but not alarmed. They needed them for a work thing, she said. Her boyfriend borrowed them. It took 4 days to get them back. When I did, they were dirty, scuffed, like they'd been tossed in a truck bed and dragged through a sand trap. That was the moment I snapped. I told Erica flat out, "If I see Leah in this house again, I'm calling the police." No discussion. Erica called me controlling, said I was being unfair to her best friend, that Leah didn't like her apartment, and her boyfriend was always there. so she needed somewhere else to hang out. Somewhere she felt safe. I said, "She can't feel safe in my house if I don't feel safe in my house." And that was the line in the sand. For a few days, things were quiet. Erica went cold. Short texts, long silences, the classic passive-aggressive routine. I figured she needed time to process. Then one evening, I left work early. Just felt like I needed to go home. Something in my gut told me to check. When I pulled up, Leah's car was in the driveway. I walked in through the front door. They were on the couch, watching TV, laughing like nothing had happened. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't argue. I just looked Leah in the eye and said, "You need to leave. Right now, or I'm calling the cops." She tried to protest, but I didn't budge. I took out my phone and started dialing. That's when she left. Erica exploded, said I was being dramatic, said I was making a scene. I told her this wasn't up for debate anymore. I sat her down at the kitchen table, pulled up the Reddit post I'd written earlier that week, asking if I was the asshole for threatening to call the police on her friend, and let her read. She sat there for 20 minutes, scrolling through hundreds of comments. When she finished, I asked her what she thought. She said, "They don't understand our relationship, or Leah." And right then, I knew it was over. I asked her to hold out her hand. She did, and I took off the ring. She started crying, begging, said she'd cut Leah off, said she was sorry. But I told her, "I can't even trust you with the garage code. How am I supposed to trust you as my wife?" She locked herself in our bedroom. I started packing her things. I called her parents to let them know what was happening. Told them I didn't feel comfortable with her staying here anymore, that I wasn't trying to hurt her. I just needed peace. Her parents were furious, but not at me. Turns out, Leah had been banned from their house since high school. Years. I had no idea. They said they'd be flying out that weekend to pick up Erica and her things. They were done, just like me. And the strangest part? I didn't feel sad. I felt free, lighter than I'd felt in months, maybe years. Like I'd been holding my breath for too long, and finally exhaled. I stood in the garage that night, looking at my golf clubs, still dusty and dinged from Leah's little borrow. And I laughed, because I knew I'd never lose them again. Not like that. Not to people who never cared about boundaries, about respect, about what a home is supposed to mean. So, am I the asshole? For drawing a line? For standing my ground? For choosing to protect my space, my peace, my sanity? Because in the end, it wasn't just about a bottle of wine or a set of clubs. It was about trust. And once that's gone, there's nothing left to protect. You know, there's a moment in every relationship, romantic, platonic, or otherwise, where silence becomes complicity, where turning the other cheek isn't noble, it's dangerous. What happened in this story wasn't just about a toxic friend. It was about a slow erosion of boundaries, a quiet betrayal that builds over time, and a partner who chose comfort over accountability. The truth is, some people will never draw the line for you. They'll make excuses. They'll call it keeping the peace. But peace without respect is just submission. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is say, enough. So here's a question for you. Have you ever let someone into your life, or your home, who didn't deserve that access? And more importantly, did you take it back? Let us know in the comments. This is AITA Story Vault. Thanks for listening.